Today on Here for the Right Reasons, Clayton Eckert and Susie Evans reveal why they moved to Virginia Beach.
We're going to give this every chance that we can. We love each other. And as of right now, we're both very, very happy.
Plus, Lauren Bushnell admits she felt tricked after getting engaged to Ben Higgins.
We're both very moved on. We both, are married now. I have a child. I feel like some things, once you move on, you should do exactly that.
Plus, Kaitlyn Bristowe breaks her silence on not hosting The Bachelorette. We've got that plus so much more on today's Here for the Right Reasons. Hey guys, Christina Garibaldi here with Us Weekly senior editor Sarah Heron. Sarah, welcome to another week of Here for the Right Reasons, but we don't have Bachelor.
No, we do not have The Bachelor. And someone told me yesterday, I didn't double check the math, but it was something like the fourth week since Paradise premiered that there was no Bachelor at all, no content, which is so crazy to think about since, August or whatever of last year. It's been so consistently in our lives, maybe even earlier in the summer. I can't remember. So crazy.
I know it was weird having like a Monday night free. I was like, this is strange. I don't know what to do with myself, but
I felt empty.
I did. I felt empty, but the Bachelor news keeps on going. And while the Bachelor may not be on at the moment, we will be here each and every week breaking down all the latest news going on in Bachelor Nation. And there's been a lot so far. So Sarah, what's been going on in the news?
There has been a lot so far, including the fact that Gabby and Rachel are gearing up to start filming our double Bachelorettes any day now. We'll be back at the mansion starting to film this mysterious journey, which we have a little bit of info on. But Gabby and Rachel posted a joint Instagram, which I loved. They still seem to be going strong as friends so far. And it had a picture of Rachel crying on the stairs on Clayton season and the two of them at AFR. And they wrote, started from the bottom of the stairs. Now we're here. We couldn't be more excited to have each other on this journey to find love.
Love it. Yes.
And yes, Mike Fleiss, the executive producer, gave a little bit of insight on how it might work when fans were asking him if they will be competing against each other. And he said, not true. You'll see, because everyone's worried that they're going to be competing against the same guys and that they're going to be competing with each other. Allegedly not the case. What do you think?
I'm hoping, I feel like they're having this whole narrative about how they're going to be like best friends and leaning on each other. So I'm hoping that maybe it's like, it's going to be strange how they're going to do it. Is it like, I think we kind of talked about this last week. Is it two separate kind of seasons into one? Like, is she going to be on one side of the mansion and, Rachel will be on another? It's going to be very interesting to see how they kind of make this work. And I thought that they would take a little break into filming since we're not going to see this until July. But then you got to think about this. Okay, so if we start filming now, filming probably wraps up in May. So they have to keep this under wraps until July. That's going to be really difficult.
Yeah, that's so true. There's always such a quick turnaround. It's usually like a 9-week period. We go from Bachelor after the final rose right into production on Bachelorette. And then the last weekend of May is usually the premiere. And then we're done by July, early August into Paradise. So I think that it is going to be interesting that they're going to have to keep it a secret longer. Maybe production will be longer.
Yeah.
Because there's so many moving parts here and this is a learning experience. I would assume maybe there could be something that, since they don't know what to expect, maybe they want to give them wiggle room, or maybe it does have to do with something with ABC and behind the scenes of production of the ratings, haven't been as good. Maybe we do let people miss the show. Maybe it's all of the above. My best guess is going to be some sort of, there's a big group of guys. They decide, maybe they come in saying, I'm here for Gabby. I'm here for Rachel. And then the two of them, navigate and help each other. And then I'm sure there will be some sort of like crazy twist opportunity of like the last chance to switch and you just hope no one takes that or it's a trick or right. I don't know. Because they have to, I don't want them against each other either, but it feels like it would, they have to connect the season somehow, right? Like, I don't know.
They have to, yeah. There has to be some overlap unless all the guys take on all the drama and the girls kind of stay out of it. But that seems like it would be really difficult to do. I don't know. I'm very intrigued about how they're going to go about doing this. But you're right. I feel like we did have to miss the show a little bit. It's been way too much. But I do want to know what's going to happen with Paradise. Is that going to be running at the same time? Are we pushing Paradise till September, end of September? So that's what I really want to know.
Damn, that's what I'm concerned about. And there's all this very unfounded speculation that maybe Paradise was canceled. I don't think that that's true because you have all these Bachelor Nation produced podcasts that are asking the contestants about Paradise. They set the scene. I don't think it's going anywhere. I can't imagine that is too expensive to make. They pay the contestants nothing. But maybe they're switching up the format there. Maybe it won't be in the summer. Bachelor in Paradise Canada was a cabin situation. And I also think that they're going to love us speculating about the future of Paradise, about the future of The Bachelorette. One of the most talked about seasons in recent history was the Claire-Tayshia switch up because they refused to acknowledge what happened until it aired. So I think we're going to be questioning, speculating, coming up with our own theories for a while, and that's fun. So I think that they're getting exactly what they want with this break.
Definitely. Yeah, no, maybe they're kind of switching to like, you know, Bachelor in winter, spring, you know,
like winter games,
right? Winter games type of thing, Bachelorette in the summer, and then maybe Bachelor in Paradise in the fall. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But one thing we do know for certain is that Kaitlyn Bristowe and Tayshia Adams will not be co-hosting The Bachelorette this season. Kaitlyn broke her silence about it on her podcast, saying, I want to support Gabby and Rachel and be there for them so bad. I think it makes sense to have a woman being there for them. I will be sad. She added that she looks forward to prioritizing her relationship with Jason and planning their wedding, spending time with their dogs, and catching up on her business. But an insider actually told us that Kaitlyn and Tayshia were given a bit of a heads up that Jesse Palmer was going to be taking over. A source added that the decision came at some point throughout the past season that Jesse was a safe choice for the next Bachelorette season. They're still testing him out for a more permanent role, just like they tested out Tayshia and Kaitlyn for 2 seasons. Jesse said that he was super excited about it, and he posted a photo with Gabby and Rachel saying, with every ending comes a new beginning. So excited for our new Bachelorettes. Both are strong, smart, amazing, and equally deserving. Can't wait to join them on their journey to find love. I agree with Kaitlyn. I really do think that having a woman there, or, you know, Tayshia and Kaitlyn, you know, 2 people that went through it, especially Kaitlyn, who was a double Bachelorette at one point, it just makes sense. I know that they want to do this whole Chris Harrison style, but maybe that just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, I think that I really thought Kaitlyn brought something special to the show. And I like Tayshia too, but I just felt like it came more naturally to Kaitlyn, whether it was the moment supporting Katie or actually hosting like she did by herself for Women Tell All. So I'm disappointed in that. I think it makes sense to me. I kind of, once Jesse Palmer took the gig, I didn't think he was going to be a 1 season of a franchise kind of host. I think he wanted a deal that was like that. And it is, you know, people forget that Kaitlyn and Tayshia were credited as special guests. They were never credited as the host. I know we all started calling them that because they were, but ABC always called them special guests in the credits, which meant they made less money. Jesse Palmer was called the host. He has a different deal. And I'm glad they weren't blindsided by this. I'm sure there was discussions the second Jesse Palmer was announced as the Bachelor host of what does this mean for the Bachelorette? Because they did do 2 seasons. They definitely stepped up in a time when being part of the franchise and associated with the franchise wasn't necessarily overly popular. Like taking that job from Chris Harrison, I don't know. A lot of people might have said no just to avoid the controversy. Obviously, it gave them a platform to be on TV, but it wasn't the easiest thing to step into. So I think that everyone's on good terms for the most part. I think there probably was something to be said for Tayshia and Kaitlyn saying, even if you do want us, by the way, like we want to be hosts, like that's not fair. And then I bet ABC was like, we got to give Jesse a contract anyway. This is easy. It's just not worth it. And I hope they bring them back in some degree as friends or whatever, Kaitlyn especially, but also if they're not going to pay her, like I don't blame her for not wanting to, you know, go off to wherever they're filming the show.
No, definitely. It's a big commitment out of her life. I mean, they did pretty much back-to-back seasons. So they're gone for, you know, half a year, pretty much, you know, they're gone for an extended period of time. So yeah, so now it gives her more time to focus on herself and her family and, you know, planning that wedding. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like kind of maybe ABC maybe missed the mark with this one. I do no disrespect to Jesse. I thought he handled himself well and I thought he did a good job, but having a woman's perspective, I think would go a long way. But the ABC knows something we don't, I guess.
Yeah, I think there is a large part of the audience that just wants the host to be in the background too. And I think some people would say like maybe Kaitlyn and Tayshia, I didn't think they made it about them, but maybe some people thought they did. So
no, that's true.
I don't know, but the host, yeah, the host is always changing in Bachelor Nation these days, at least on the podcast front. And this also goes along with, you know, Tayshia's really been kind of stepping back for Bachelor Nation for all. She was a guest host on Bachelor Happy Hour. She was a permanent host on Clickbait. She's no longer on anything. And after Rachel Lindsay left, Becca Kufrin finally has her full-time co-host for Bachelor Happy Hour. It's Michelle Young. Not too much of a shock there. She said in a statement, having found love on The Bachelorette, I'm excited to share my perspective and keep it real for the passionate fans of Bachelor Nation. conversation. I can't wait to kick it with Becca each week as we dive into the twists and turns of the upcoming season. And this announcement comes shortly after Michelle and Nate went back to the resort where they got engaged. That was cute to see. They're still going strong. I feel like Michelle makes a lot of sense as the pick for this, since she's the most recent Bachelorette and also still with her person.
Yeah, it makes total sense. I can't imagine anybody else that probably would have been a good fit for the role. It is interesting that Tayshia is taking such a step back from the franchise, though. Ever since her breakup with Zach, you really haven't seen her even being that active on social media as well. I mean, she does post here and there, but nothing like we saw her before. I wonder if, she never really spoke about her relationship either, about why they broke up. I wonder why she just wants to disassociate herself so much with it.
I'm really surprised we never got any sort of Tayshia Zach breakup podcast episode. And I feel like a lot of people speculated that maybe there was pressure for her to do that and to talk about it, and she didn't like that, and that's maybe why she took a step back. I don't know if that's true, because everything when Kaitlyn told me, like, that was very much agreed on, that she would like bring it up at that Men Tell All when she first talked about it. But I'm surprised, she does host a Bachelor Nation podcast. Maybe she felt pressure to always talk about it, or to talk about it at all, or what the future was going to entail of her talking about it, because she was on a show talking about other people's relationships. So clickbait wouldn't have made sense, I guess, for her to keep doing if she's not going to talk about her own show, because that's her own relationship, because that's what they do on that podcast. They talk about either. But I was kind of surprised she didn't do it. I guess it goes to show like maybe how real it was, or I don't know, something happened that they don't feel comfortable talking about. I think it's definitely not what I expected.
All right, well, let's move on to a couple that are going strong, is Abigail and Noah from Bachelor in Paradise. They are no longer in a long distance relationship. She took to Instagram to share the news that she has made a move to Los Angeles, and said, the main reason why I decided not to renew my lease for another year in New York was in part because my rent was increasing. Yes.
Me too, girl.
Yes. But also my family and Noah are both on the West Coast. It was a no-brainer for me. She added, one of the things I love about finally being in the same place as Noah is obviously that we're not doing long distance anymore, but also that I've been able to get more into a routine. She's excited that she has a normal schedule, and that she's able to have a permanent place with Noah. So it's nice to see that they're still going strong.
I know. I'm surprised. I can't lie. I know that they didn't necessarily get the most fair edit, I guess, on the show, because we didn't really see a lot of them. But I didn't know. I didn't really see these two. I liked them a lot on the show, but then when they broke up, I was really surprised to learn they got back together in the real world. So surprised by that. A lot of Bachelor in Paradise couples still going strong. If you would have told me 7 months ago that Riley and Marissa would have been the only ones to break up, I would have called you a liar. So
yeah, I would have never thought that Marissa and Riley would have been the ones that broke up. And, Kenny and Amari are still going strong. Serena and Joe are still going strong. Who would have thought? So
I know.
Good for them.
Well, also at least going 1 week strong would be Clayton and Susie. Just kidding. It's really more like 4 months in a week, but you had to say it. So one of our interviews this week is with Clayton and Susie. They made the move to Virginia Beach, and they're showing why the state is for the lovers on Instagram, and why they had to go to Virginia. But this is what they told us about it before they left for their trip.
How'd you guys land on Virginia Beach?
I live there. I was born there, and I moved away for a long time, and I came back to the area about a couple of years ago, and I'm really happy there. My work is there, and I had a beautiful life before coming on the show. And it's just great that I get to make an addition to it. And Clayton was, before the show, he was ready to, uproot and figure out what's next for him. And he's totally on board to come to Virginia Beach. So we're going to give it a shot.
I love that. Last question, Clayton, you told me back in December that after this show, you will no longer speak in absolutes. Can you tell me, is Susie absolutely the one? And what do you love about her?
Ooh.
What do I love about her? How about let's say that, because again, we've talked about it, and we know like from here on out, like this is a relationship like in the real world where you never know, anything can happen. And we're aware that, we're going to give this every chance that we can. We love each other. And as of right now, we're both very, very happy, but relationships take effort. They are hard at times. And so we know that there's going to be those moments that lie ahead. There's never any guarantee in life. But with all that being said, I am incredibly happy to be with her. I'm so excited to be able to just go get dinner, to go hiking, do all these things with her, travel. And what I love about her the most is that she has such a huge heart, and she is so unselfish. She is so humble. I wish people would have seen more of that. You know, she got so emotional on the show when we did a shopping spree because she's like, I don't deserve this. And I was just taken aback. I was blown away when she said that, because I was like, you are an incredible woman who doesn't feel like she should be given anything. Like, she just wants to give and give and give to everyone. And it almost feels that she sometimes doesn't want to receive things, because it truly speaks to her character. And I was blown away by that someone as beautiful as her, as loving as she is, just wants to give everyone the world and everything that she has. But I want to be able to give that to her and let her know that, like, I want to give her everything, because she absolutely deserves it, because she is she's like somebody that I've never met. I mean, there are very few people, if any, like her that have the character that she does. And I continue to be impressed day in and day out.
So yeah, they are seriously showing off their love on Instagram.
The picture of her choking him in bed was something I didn't need in my life.
I didn't need that at all. I just didn't need it at all.
I will say, what I've loved about this, you know, freedom of Clayton and Susie getting to show their love is they seem really normal, and they seemed like, almost because the show wasn't involved in because they didn't leave the show together, they had less restrictions. I feel like they saw a lot of each other in the last 4 months, and I don't know if it's forever, but it's definitely for right now, and they seem happy.
Yeah, no, they seem like a total normal couple, which I like. And, you know, they're having a lot of fun on TikTok together. They're, you know, meeting her family and just having a good time. So hopefully it works out. We'll have to wait and see. But all right. Well, I also caught up with Lauren Lane before Clayton's finale, who admitted that she felt actually a bit tricked into getting engaged to Ben Higgins, and what she thinks of him today. So take a look.
How do you feel he handled this situation, and how can any of these relationships move forward, if they can at all?
Oh my gosh, such a complex, you know, question that I don't even know if I have the answers to. And I don't want to dive too deep into it because,
of course,
you know, there's so much that I feel like that we don't see. But I was kind of like, I was feeling really upset with Clayton that he did that. And I, you know, the week prior to last week, you know, I just felt so bad. And I was like, what are you doing? Some things you just need to, you know, keep to yourself, even if you feel like you're feeling them, you know, words have meaning and all that. But I actually feel like this week, I feel like he did the right thing in communicating, although he didn't do it perfectly, because he left out kind of a big detail of that he loved someone the most, which is, he should have probably, you know, included that aspect of it. But I think it was really respectful of him to tell the women, you know, the situation that he was in and the things that he had said and the things that he had done before they made a decision to continue on. I know specifically on my season, I was not given that same information before making a really big decision. And that was the problem that I had very much so coming off the shows. I just felt like I just made a huge decision without, you know, information that I feel like I deserve to know. And that, you know, I felt almost like a little bit tricked in a way, or like everyone, you know, who had an opportunity to tell me, whether it was producers or the lead of the show, you know, no one told me. So I felt pretty bummed out. And that's a really hard place to start a relationship with and, you know, build a relationship on when you never really had a firm foundation to begin with.
Do you want to start getting back into Bachelor Nation at all? I know you were kind of a little bit removed from it for a little while.
Sure. I feel like I just needed to kind of like be in real life and like kind of rebuild who I was and just kind of, you know, go through the things that I went through and really be present. And so for me, yeah, that meant taking a little bit of time away from it. It wasn't like because I had horrible feelings towards the show or anything like that. But my husband is the one who's like, can we start watching it? Because he like loves to watch it. So it's like, yeah, sure. So, I mean, yes, I feel like we probably will keep watching, but I feel like depending on what happens tonight, like, I feel like it's just getting crazier and crazier. And if it gets more crazier, I'm like, I don't even know if I'll be able to keep up with what's happening.
Yes. Did he watch your season at all?
He did. He says he doesn't really remember, but yes, he did. He watched it.
Yeah. Is it ever weird to kind of watch? Because I know that they have been showing like promos and things and like flashbacks of your season. Is that ever weird for you to watch?
Yes.
Yeah.
For me, yes. I always am like, no, I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch. Like, I feel the same even when I see like more current videos of myself. I'm like, or when you hear your own voice, you know, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to hear my own voice. That's how I feel about it. So yeah, I try not to watch. No.
Is Chris like, oh my God, that's you?
He like thinks it's funny and like he wants to go back and watch my whole season. And I was like, if you do that, like we will have a problem. Please do not do that. Like I know we can laugh about it now and like we're so far removed, but like at the same time, like I don't need to watch it and you don't need to watch it.
No, definitely. And I know finally, I mean, I know you and Ben don't talk, but I'm sure it's nice. I'm sure you guys both wish each other nothing but happiness.
We're both very moved on. We both, you know, are married now. I have a child. I feel like some things, you know, once you move on, you should do exactly that. You know, you got to just kind of move on. So
I kind of agree with her. I mean, she had no idea that he also told JoJo that he was in love with her. So she went into that finale thinking, oh, I'm the only one. And they have both said on numerous occasions that him saying, I love you to both people really put a strain on their relationship.
Yeah, I think it makes total sense that she feels that way, especially looking back at it now that she's so far removed from the relationship. And I think that it goes to show, as messy as Clayton's ending was, Susie had all the information and she made the decision. And it's different to make that decision, knowing everything, talking everything through versus leaving that show and then rewatching it. So something to be said for Clayton laying it all on the table. I mean, if it works out, it's something for other bachelors to think about, either make better decisions or be honest about them before you put a ring on someone's finger or a final rose in someone's hand.
Right. No secrets. So at least they're going on in their relationship with a clean slate. All right.
Exactly.
Well, let's get into which Bachelor Nation member caught our attention on social media. So who caught your attention this week?
I'm giving a little shout out to go along with the Paradise couples to Thomas. Becca is on the Bachelor Live on Stage tour, which confuses me to no end, but that's a whole other story. And she posted this video from the first couple shows, and Thomas reposted it and said, I'm so freaking proud of you. Watching you take center stage with such presence and grace is nothing short of amazing. Welcome home, baby. You were born to be out there. Your number one fan. And she commented, Tommy, you're amazing. I couldn't have gotten through these last few days without you. You get my final rose for the rest of forever. I love you.
I kind of love them together.
And that I really didn't see coming. I thought they were going to, I think I said on this show, they're either going to like get married right away and it's going to be bad, or they're going to implode. Like, I definitely didn't believe in it. And it's so cool to see because she deserves it. And because he got such a unfair edit, I guess, if he's such a great guy. So I thought that was sweet.
Mine went to Catherine Lowe, who posted this really funny video of what Sean does when he goes on a work trip. So he leaves like all of these photos of himself with little sayings like, when I get back, want to join me in the fantasy suite. And by fantasy suite, I mean watch Downton Abbey and go to bed by 9 o'clock. I love them together. They're one of my favorite Bachelor couples. The only Bachelor couple that got together at the end and stayed together. So it seems like, you know, they are many years strong, and Sean is always a good time to watch on Instagram too.
100%. I thought the video was so cute, and like what an effort to go to printing out all those pictures. She joked like, I guess this is where the printer ink went, and they're like always together. I feel like he works from home, and then they do take trips like with their kids or solo every once in a while, but I feel like they're consistently together making funny content, and they just seem to really love each other, and their kids could not be freaking cuter. So I'm all in as well.
All in. All right. Well, that's it for this week's episode of Here for the Right Reason. Sarah, who's on the podcast this week?
My full interview with Jason Tartick about his book and about Kaitlyn. So speaking of Kaitlyn and what he thought of Clayton and all that stuff is on the podcast.
Awesome. Well, make sure to check it out and keep commenting, keep subscribing, and we will see you back here next Tuesday. Bye, everybody. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.